little friends! Welcome to Bright Buddies!
In a small village called Kalyanpur, people earned their living through labor work and by raising goats. Among them lived a shopkeeper named Ajit Singh. Since his was the only shop in the village, everyone depended on him for daily needs. Many villagers often asked for goods on credit, but Ajit was known for refusing anyone who already owed him money. One day, a villager named Ramlu came asking for rice and promised to pay later. Ajit refused and told him to clear his previous dues first. The villagers felt that Ajit had become too greedy and selfish. At the same time, a young man named Dheeraj arrived in Kalyanpur from a neighboring village. His father had recently passed away, and the responsibility of feeding his family had fallen on his shoulders. Dheeraj humbly requested work from the villagers and even asked Ajit if he could help him get a job at the shop. But no one trusted him because he was new to the village. Ajit mocked him and asked him to first bring proof that he was a good person. Heartbroken and helpless, Dheeraj quietly walked away while the villagers ignored his suffering. Ajit lived with his wife Saroj, who loved expensive saris and jewelry. She constantly asked Ajit to buy new things for her because she enjoyed praise from relatives and neighbors. Ajit wanted to keep her happy and could never refuse her wishes. Instead of using the earnings from his shop, he often sold goats to buy gifts for her. One day, during the festival season, Saroj asked Ajit for a costly Banarasi sari. Ajit promised to arrange the money and decided to take one of his goats to the weekly market in the neighboring town of Shivpur. Before leaving, he warned Saroj not to lend anything from the shop and reminded her to stay careful. Ajit reached the market, but heavy rain ruined the business that day. Buyers disappeared and nobody wanted to pay a good price for his goat. Ajit demanded 20,000 rupees, but people laughed and said the goat was worth much less. Hours passed, evening arrived, and Ajit still couldn't sell it. Disappointed and worried about facing Saroj without money, he started his journey home. The road passed near an old cave that villagers believed was haunted. As darkness covered the path, Ajit became frightened. Suddenly, a strange voice came from inside the cave and stopped him. The voice introduced itself as a ghost and demanded the goat in exchange for letting Ajit go safely. Terrified, Ajit begged for mercy. The mysterious figure said it would pay him for the goat if he returned the next morning. Having no other option, Ajit left the goat and waited through the night. At sunrise, Ajit nervously returned to the cave. From inside, the same voice praised the goat and threw out a bag. Ajit grabbed it and ran home. When he opened it, he was shocked to find 50,000 rupees inside. Saroj became excited and wanted to use the money for shopping. Ajit warned her not to tell anyone, but Saroj shared the secret with a neighbor. Soon the entire village heard that a ghost was paying double the price for goats. Greed quickly spread across Kalyanpur. Villagers secretly took their goats to the cave at night, hoping to become rich. Saroj also pressured Ajit to send more goats. Although he hesitated, he finally gave in and pushed many of his goats into the cave too. The next morning, all the villagers gathered outside the cave expecting rewards. But there was silence. No ghost appeared. Everyone entered the cave and discovered that all the goats had vanished. The only thing left behind was a letter. Ajit picked up the letter and began reading. It said, "I am not a ghost. I am Dheeraj, the young man who came asking for work. None of you trusted me or gave me a chance. I had no money and nowhere to go. While staying in this cave, I saw Ajit with his goat and thought of this plan. You refused to help a real person in need, but you trusted the promise of easy money from a ghost. I used fake money and your greed did the rest." The villagers stood in silence. They realized they had ignored someone who genuinely needed help, yet they had rushed after greed without thinking. Ajit felt deeply ashamed. He understood that his selfishness and his desire to satisfy endless demands had blinded him. Saroj also regretted her actions and admitted that she should never have asked for more than they truly needed. From that day onward, Ajit and Saroj changed their ways. They became kinder and more helpful toward others. The villagers learned an unforgettable lesson. When people ignore honesty and chase easy rewards, they often lose what they already have. Moral of the story: greed can destroy wisdom, but kindness and helping others bring true wealth.
Subscribe to Bright Buddies. Thank you for watching.